Welcome to Major Stories. I'm Michelle Thomas. Many Jamaicans are not convinced by the Ministry of Health and Wellness's announcement that there's no suspected case of the coronavirus in the country. On the other hand, some are relieved. This comes in light of rumors which circulated on social media Tuesday morning that a patient who returned from China about 2 weeks ago was isolated at the University Hospital of the West Indies due to a suspected case of the coronavirus. Aladdin Love shares the public's reaction.
When CVM Live visited halfway through on Tuesday, persons were seen wearing face masks. A customs officer was also spotted wearing a protective mask at the Norman Manley International Airport in Kingston. One individual tells CVM Live she's taking the necessary precautions because she does not trust the health ministry.
When dengue was here, the government didn't admit it until after many children died, so protection is good for me.
Others, however, are comforted by the health minister's announcement that there was no suspected case of the coronavirus in Jamaica and remain hopeful that it does not enter the country.
It's not safe. Remember, say it's not safe, you know. I have kids, so it can't safe, and then I get it contagious, so. But I'm open to it still.
This man has some suggestions for the government.
Them have to do all just take our precaution by make sure say all the borders them locked down with enough nurse, enough doctors, enough agents where we know say yeah. Them little things they're not slip through. You see my deal.
On Tuesday, Dr. Christopher Tufton announced that active surveillance will continue at ports of entry, and depending on risk assessment done, persons will be quarantined in special facilities or their homes. However, adding to fears is word from the acting chief medical officer, Dr. Karen Webster Carr, that the digital handheld thermal scanner used to detect high fever has been stolen from the Norman Manley International Airport in Kingston. Persons have taken to social media describing the situation as shameful. However, Dr. Karen Webster Carr told reporters the health ministry is working around it.
While the one at Norman Manley, provided by health, was stolen, we do have access to the others at the airport. So there is thermal scanning done as well as handheld scanning. There is that possibility if we need it. So we are working to replace the ones we had in health.
She adds that the public health personnel at the Norman Manley International Airport is adequate. Aladdin Love for CVM Live.
And Dr. Karen Webster Carr will be part of our panel discussion in a few minutes. Cabinet has approved a new council for the beleaguered Caribbean Maritime University. Prime Minister Andrew Holness provided an update in Parliament where he advised that the government was taking the highlighted deficiencies at the university seriously. Prime Minister Andrew Holness told the House that some of the governance and other deficiencies discovered at Caribbean Maritime University was a result of the requisite systems not keeping pace with the requirements under the law as the university expanded. It will now be the responsibility of the new council led by President and CEO of the Port Authority of Jamaica, Professor Gordon Shirley, to take corrective action in light of the special report from the Auditor General. The new 21-member council, which also includes the acting president, Professor Ibrahim Ajuguna, will now review and approve critical policy documents such as a board charter, declaration of interest, investment policy, procurement and internal procedures, and donations policy. Outstanding annual reports are also to be submitted by end of May.
The new council that will be in place will be required to establish a governance committee, and this governance committee will be set up to ensure that the council is meeting the requirements of its statutory legislation, that is the CMU Act, meeting the requirements of the government's governance framework, and meeting the requirements of the PBMA.
In keeping with another recommendation from the Auditor General, the Prime Minister disclosed that an internal auditor has been seconded from the Education Ministry to the CMU. On the matter of the revelation that the CMU had over 20 bank accounts, the Prime Minister said the new council is to consider this matter.
We will be directly charging the new council to examine carefully whether or not they need to operate 22 bank accounts. I know that they have already started the process of closing some, and I should be getting an update as to how many they have actually closed.
As it relates to the CMU's procurement practices, the Prime Minister said the Education Ministry will be very active in its monitoring. The Prime Minister says the corrective measures indicate the seriousness of the government in improving the overall administration of the university.
The Ministry of Education, Youth and Information will be monitoring all significant procurements until the new policies and procedures are embedded.
A recent spate of attacks on teachers, one of which left a teacher at the Vauxhall High School in East Kingston dead, has caused outrage among the Jamaica Teachers Association, the JTA, and members of the public. In the most recent incident on Tuesday, the Dean of Discipline at the Cornwall College in Montego Bay, St. James, was assaulted by a parent. This comes on the heels of an attack on the principal of Cornwall College, also by a parent in recent months. As our reporter Aladdin Love tells us, the JTA president is calling on the government to increase measures to protect teachers.
On Tuesday, a parent allegedly attacked the Dean of Discipline at Cornwall College, Montego Bay, St. James, while he tried to intervene in an assault on a student. He sustained minor bruises. The attack follows a report from the parent on Monday that his child was being bullied. The principal of Cornwall College, Michael Ellis, tells CVM Live the Dean of Discipline arranged a meeting which would involve the parents of the child who was reportedly bullied, as well as the parents of the accused students. However, on Tuesday, the man assaulted one of the students believed to be bullying his child. Nonetheless, Principal Ellis says the matter is being dealt with properly.
The police were summoned, they came, we had an amicable conversation with the hierarchy of the police from St. James, and we are satisfied that the necessary actions will be taken to mitigate against any future occurrence.
He adds that short-term measures are being put in place to better manage the compound. The president of the Jamaica Teachers Association, Owen Speed, says the spate of incidents, especially the killing of a teacher at Vauxhall High School, East Kingston, last week, has left the Teachers Association seriously injured. The teacher, called Samuels, along with another male, was reportedly closing the gate of the school when two men armed with guns opened fire at them. Samuels, who was a licensed firearm holder, managed to kill one of his attackers, an 18-year-old boy. JTA President Owen Speed says safety and security in schools must be revisited immediately.
I went back to Vauxhall High School this morning and I can see that the teachers, they are not dealing with it well. They are not coping. Indeed, I believe that it would be a good thing to give them maybe a couple of days off. In fact, we are calling on the Prime Minister to issue a statement between now and Friday of this week. We want to hear from the Prime Minister, who has assumed the duty of being Minister of Education. And he needs to say something on this matter.
Aladdin Love for CVM Live.
The results of the National Education Inspectorate's report have found improvements in all performance indicators for over 600 schools in Jamaica. However, while this has been lauded by the Education Ministry, the Chief Inspector, Maureen Dwyer, believes there's still need for increased support for teachers in implementing the National Standards Curriculum. Our reporter Khadija Thomas tells us more.
653 schools, including 554 primary and 199 secondary schools, were inspected between September 2015 and June 2019. The results were satisfactory for most schools. However, the performance of students in the Caribbean Secondary Education Certificate Examination, especially in mathematics, continues to be low. The Chief Inspector of the National Education Inspectorate, NEI, Maureen Dwyer, explained.
In the area of progress against curricular standards, progress in their lessons, and progress in terms of their performance over time, 23 percentage point improvement was noted over the 4-year period from 2015 to 2019.
Schools were assessed based on leadership and management, teaching support for students' learning, students' personal and social development, along with the use of human and material resources.
This time around, the NEI took great interest in the quality of teaching, even greater interest. Because it coincides beautifully with the fact that we're putting a new curriculum in place, and this curriculum is not emphasizing a lot on content. What it's looking at is how pedagogy, the quality of the art and science of teaching, is going to push the system forward.
Adding to this, the minister with responsibility for education, Carl Samuda, noted that the report will now serve well in the ministry's strategy going forward.
For instance, in establishing an area within the Ministry of Education where we engage a team to go and visit communities to see where those children actually study. What facilities do they have at home?
Khadija Thomas, CVM Live.